Hello everyone and welcome back to Japan Love Walker. This week I'm at Ramen Walker Kitchen once again and we've got a wonderful tonkotsu broth coming up.
This week's bowl was a Shoyu Tonkotsu broth with a choice of either thick or thin noodles. Topped with spring onions for the thin noodles and spinach for the thick noodles, both bowls were served with bamboo shoots, seaweed and 2 slices of premium Yamato pork loin. I went with the special bowl of ramen, which combined both of the previously mentioned spring onion and spinach garnishes as well as extra sheets of seaweed, a soy sauce flavoured egg and a mouth-watering piece of kakuni or braised pork belly.
So to create today's tonkotsu broth, the broth is cooked for nearly 20 hours. Now it's cooked for such a long time and at a high temperature for the entire time to extract the collagen from the bones of the chicken and specifically the pork. Pork bone is a really popular ingredient in Japan's ramen industry, with some of the most famous stores across the country opting for a tonkotsu broth. Now what makes certain tonkotsu broths special is a thing called yobimodoshi. Yobimodoshi is taking the remains of a broth from one day and adding it to the next day's broth. What this achieves is a continuous flavour that is consistent across days that the store serves their tonkotsu ramen. After all, the longer you cook tonkotsu broth, the better the flavour. And here we are, a very, very beautiful bowl of ramen just to look at. Absolutely stacked, beautiful looking tonkotsu broth. Wonderful combo to start with of the tonkotsu with the shoyu. Shoyu is coming through really, really well.
This week's bowl from Paimen was an absolute delight, packed with flavours that left me craving more. The marriage of the tonkotsu broth and shoyu created a mouth-watering blend of 2 of my favourite ramen styles into one memorable bowl. My personal highlight was undoubtedly the broth, which stunned me with its richness and impact. This week I opted for the thicker noodles, a departure from my usual choice to have thin noodles with tonkotsu. The noodles were of excellent quality and consistency. They had a great spring to them and I would almost describe them as juicy. Both meats in this bowl were excellent and tender. The pork belly separated in half just by squeezing it with the chopsticks, and the braised texture worked excellently after absorbing some of the tonkotsu broth. The shoulder loin was equally tender, almost melting in my mouth, and it tasted delicious too. Having both the spring onions and the spinach allowed me to get a variety of flavour complements throughout the bowl. Each bite offered a slightly different variation of taste that helped the tonkotsu broth excel. Lastly, the aji tamago or flavoured egg was an absolutely delicious addition. From an infusion of soy sauce throughout the egg to the creamy yolk, it was a great addition to the already flavourful bowl.
Amazing.
If you're in Tokyo, I strongly recommend visiting Paimen in one of their stores to experience this delicious and hearty tonkotsu shoyu broth.
こんにちは、パイメンの宮田です。お店はですね、東京の世田谷区と中目黒、あと板橋、パイメンは3軒あります。今日のウォーカーキッチンのメニューはですね、お店の普通の主食の醤油豚骨、太麺、細麺2種類と、あとネギラーメンっていうやつをちょっと辛いタレに和えたネギを上に乗っけて今日は提供してます。パイメンのラーメンはですね、でっかい鍋に骨をたくさん入れてめちゃめちゃ炊きます。それをで4つその寸胴を4個使って炊いてます。でもう営業中はずーっと炊き込んでます。ずーっと炊き込んで匂いプンプン出して旨味もたっぷり出してるラーメンです。そうですね、僕はもうラーメン屋始めて27年かな今で、自分で独立して20年になります。で一番最初バンドマンミュージシャン ドラマでやってたんですけど、それから27歳6歳ぐらいの時にちょっとラーメン屋さんやりたいなと。最初アルバイトから入りました。アルバイトしてて、でバンドもやってて、で30歳の時にそこをちょっと一回辞めて、で33歳の時に自分で独立して始めました。で途中から始めたんだけど、すごくラーメンは楽しいです。大変だけど楽しい。それはお客さんが美味しいって言ってくれるから、それはすごく楽しいです。だからそれでいて、自分で生活もできるし、だから今はバンドもやってます。バンドもやりながらラーメンもすごく楽しんでやってます。最高。ちょっと匂いがきつい豚骨なんですけど、めちゃくちゃうまいですから、ぜひ食べに来てください。